presentations to the school board this evening, and our first presentation will be by Lucas Wall, who will be followed by Gerald Odell.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the school board. My name is Lucas Wall, and I'm a senior at Centerville High School. I'm addressing you tonight on Fairfax County Public School Policy 3860.3, Citizen Presentations to the School Board. Students should have the ability to be able to address the board because the school board is about students. Almost every single action that you take here in this meeting room will affect students in the classroom in one way or the other. Now, the current policy for citizens to address the school board opens the speakers list at 9 o'clock in the morning, usually on a Thursday. Now, most students, hopefully all students, are in class during this time, and it is very difficult for a student to get out of his or her class to call and get on that list and be able to address the board. I personally experienced difficulty with this policy when I wanted to address you regarding the 1995-96 school calendar. Now, it was terrible luck for me that the school calendar happened to come up on March 9th, which I'm sure you all remember was the big family education night. Well, I was able to convince my German teacher to let me out of my second period class so I could go down to the office to try to call school board office and get on the speakers list. I could not count how many times I hit redial, and eventually I got to the office about 9:13 and was told that the speakers list had already been filled. Now, many students are unable to get out of their class to go to an office or to go to a payphone and try to reach the school board office. Students who wish to address the school board have to miss class if they want to have first crack at getting on the speakers list. That is unfair to students, and we know that students should be in the classroom and should not have to take 20 minutes out of their day to go down and convince the secretary in their office to let them use the phone to address the school board. It is very important for students to have access to the speakers list. As I mentioned before, all the votes that you take will affect students in one way or the other. I have proposed to you making the following amendment to Policy 3860.3. The speakers list will open at 3:30 p.m. on the day the agenda is published, and as the current policy is, will close at 4:30 p.m. on the last working day prior to the meeting. Allowing the speakers list to open at 3:30 p.m. will allow students the opportunity to go home, go to their house, or go after school to a different location and be able to call and get first shot at getting on the speakers list. This will benefit all students having the opening of the list moved to the afternoon, because all students will have an equal shot to address the school board when the list opens. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Policy Committee Chairman, Ms. Amundsen.
The only thing that I would say to students is that it is possible to have someone else call for you and get your name on the list that way, and then you have 3 days to call the school board office and confirm that you are interested. That's not just true for students, but I don't think we're going to let you do that. but I just did want to say that that was an option that is available for students or for anyone else.
Mr. Warden.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that I really like Lucas's idea, and I think changing the time, it wouldn't affect that many people. There aren't too many student leaders out there that are active like Lucas, but it would give them that chance that they lack when the phones open at 9 a.m. And I know the board office staff has expressed concern about the afternoon time slot, but I think just a simple time change would really resolve this matter in the best way it could.
Any other comments?
Dr. Jones?
Mr. Ford.
Also, if I may, Lucas, this was an issue that we took very seriously at a policy session. We discussed it for a lengthy period of time, and we did come to certain crossroads where we decided to try to compromise. And basically, when it came down to it, we had to decide whether or not it was fair to open it up to students, and then would we have to open up the Pandora's box. And that was the decision that we came to. And so the bottom line was that we'd have to have other people call in our places and try to work out our problems that way. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. Gerald Odell, followed by Lois Passman.